Hi, and welcome to Cockatoos with Attitude. Speaking of attitude, stupid thing. I wish they wouldn't do that. Lately, I have to log in every time, and now it starts mirroring my camera, which drives me nuts. I can't stand that. They've changed the menu. Okay, guys, I'm going to go nuts for.
So hello, just me, Amy, and Don is away. So let's see if we can start a funny video.
Hi. 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 Hello, everybody. So the power is going to go out. I don't know exactly when, but because we're running on battery backup, so I didn't exactly buy the one that will last 24 hours. So it's just a small battery backup to protect the router. Might buy a larger one if we have problems like this again, but Sugar says she doesn't care. Right, Sugar? You don't care? You don't care about batteries? No. No, you don't. Hey, Sugar. That sugary bird. Ah. Sugar. I know, Mander. You're waiting in queue over there. Well, I can say it was perfect timing. It's about 15 minutes before we're ready to go online. The power goes out. So. Did I touch the Mander beak and he didn't freak out? Oh. Hey, Shug. Hey, Shug. And we have Mander with us today and Sugar.
Hi, Shuggy.
Cecil. Snowball. And Lucy. Did I say mango? There's mango. Jasmine is asleep. No, wait a minute. That's not Jasmine. What's going on here? Jasmine? Yeah, okay, okay. I know. Yeah, yeah, okay. That's if you say so. You say so. Jasmine's asleep already. She's like, the whole thing is boring me. Cecil is preening mango. See, it didn't take all that long for Mango to get out here, a couple of months, and he's like pretty much in the flock now. He still has to be carted around in a blanket, but and he is probably going to go on Haldol here soon because his legs are not improving, and I don't want him to lose his feathers there permanently. So
He's just engaging with Cecil. How sweet.
yeah, someone else doesn't like it much over there. Look at that look.
Lucy.
If
Oh
if she
my.
if she knew how to snarl, she would at this point. I'm the one that's supposed to get preened.
Well, she gets preened a lot by the mango and sometimes by the Cecil.
It's not like she pays back. She doesn't understand that she should pay that back. So, yeah, I'm talking about you. I know. She knows I'm talking about her now. She's looking straight at me. So,
Yeah, we're talking about the loose goose, but we are not supposed to mention popcorn, so we make her a little bit uncomfortable. Too
yeah,
sugary.
she likes that stuff. That's for sure. Hi, Shug. Yeah, I'm petting Mander. He didn't get his petting because I was dealing with
Okie
calling up to
doke.
find out about the power, right?
And now Mango is back with the sugary bird.
Mango, what are you doing? No? Yeah, I know I got something weird on my hand, but I have to do that if I'm
So
lifting heavy weights.
let's welcome all our viewers. And we have already a lot of people in our chat. Let's start with greeting Tiki Tiki and Natalie and James, as well as Falconsu, Bukti Ashar, Spirit Matter, and Calvin Thurston. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. So, hello and welcome. Good to have you here today. I guess we have no movie quote.
Yeah, that's the beginning, I think, of a problem with our how much battery power I have in that battery backup. So
Mm-hmm.
I can try after if it does completely go out, I can try going off Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi signal's not that bad, but
I just talked, or said, do we have a movie quote?
yeah,
Shall I
I
put it in the ticker?
think I can do that now. It's not actually a movie quote; it's a movie scene.
It's a movie scene. So, Spirit Matter, there we have the movie scene. So, everybody is invited to guess.
Andrew, you're just a little pushy today. You're not getting any response there, dude. She's just looking at you like, go away. which he did.
I think we have all prolific guessers here besides Rosebud, but I'm not sure if she will come today, so you can start if you like to.
Start what?
Guessing.
Oh.
We have a really polite guesser pool who is looking for fair conditions. So.
The scenes are sometimes harder to do because you really can't just go into an AI and say, "Can you tell me what movie this scene is from?" But I don't think any of our people do that kind of thing. But sometimes I like the scenes because they kind of pop into my head. I can actually see them with my SDAM. I can't see it, but um, they're ones that impressed on my memory. So there's a bunch of scenes like that in my head. There's one commentator I listen to regularly, and he's constantly making the same kind of things I do, reference to movies, and I love that. So movies and songs too. What are you doing? I'm not so much with songs, but with movies I am. Hey, cutie pie. You just want me to pet you all day. I can't do that, but I'll give you a little bit of more petting, and then we better stop because I don't want you to get too dependent on being petted. You had enough? I guess he has. Yeah, well, while we're still up, I guess before we have more internet problems, I want to talk about the three problems, parrot problems that mistakes actually that actually brought light to everything in my life. The first one was being on the computer and I look and I see, oh, there's this bird that needs a home this weekend, and where I was looking, it could have been in Nova Scotia because it was a worldwide service. It wasn't tied to any locality. And then I look and it's like an hour away from me. So I had been reading Parrots for Dummies. I mean, we're talking about, I didn't know much at all. And so I look, I figure out that they say that they're basically going to get rid of this bird one way or another. So I went down there and I got her, not knowing enough that really I didn't have any clue what I was doing. You kind of think when you do something like that, I mean, how hard can it be? Make myself laugh. How hard can it be just bringing a parrot into your life, right? Um, so that first mistake was not having the knowledge to have one. And so what that did, that mistake, I got her. Well, I'll tell you, when I got her home, I didn't know what I had. She was really intelligent. Those eyes looked at me with such intelligence, and she was, she'd sit on your shoulder. She sat on my shoulder the whole way home. They said, "Oh, she'll just sit on your shoulder while you're driving." I would never do that again. That's another mistake. But you learn for their safety, they have to be in a cage, right, while you're driving. But so I get her home, and at the time I was married, and the family's, "Oh, she's so pretty," and then the little problems started. The the stepdaughter said that she was, that Chloe bit her, and I look at her arm. There's not a mark anywhere, so Chloe didn't bite her, right? I mean, a bite draws blood. There isn't even a mark where any. So again, it's just kids, how they are. Um, she was afraid, so she found some. You find an excuse. So at least that's what I think happened, because Chloe never bit anybody, and all the time I had her with me, never even tried. Now she went after a false parrot one time, one of those wind-up parrots. But so then I go through a divorce, and I was looking at her in this cage. I was living with a friend, and I was looking at her in this cage, and she just looked. Her wings were pulled tight, and she sat there like kind of like a statue, like she hated being in there. So, I'm single again, and we go down to at the time there was a bird store. I I called it bird hell after I got the other place. It's gone now. And we went down the line of big cages. Well, she chose the one that Cecil's in now. She chose, and she wouldn't go in any other cage. That's why I say she chose it. I tried to put her in other cages. Nope, nope, nope. She wouldn't go in. That one, she just climbed in on her own, took it home, heavy thing, and put it all together. And she got on top of that thing and she made this sound like tubular bells, right? I mean, at the time, I think I had an Apple, what was it, a 4E or 4GS? I can't remember. Some 3GS is what it was. And I, it took video, but really terrible video. And I never even thought about it. But if I had recorded that, it was just an absolutely beautiful song she did. She never did it again. That's the only time she ever did that song. And she strutted on the top of the cage like, this is my new home. And then I realized, I'm out of my depth. So I tried to look around. That's when I found Dr. Susan Friedman. And that's where I, took the first course in applied behavior analysis and started dealing with my mistake, having an animal around me that was that intelligent and that needy and not knowing what to do. So it did change my life. That mistake truly changed my life. And the more I learned, the more I learned about her and what it took to make her a happy bird. I thought, well, maybe I can contribute now because I've learned something. And then I found out there wasn't even a rescue anywhere in my area. So then I did the paperwork, all the work to form a nonprofit. I got a board of supervisors together and we formed this nonprofit. And I started classes educating people. And that's the next mistake I made, thinking that you could actually educate most of the public. There are some people who are willing, but I have to say it this way, the way our education system is set up, it causes you to fail. You don't want to learn. I mean, you're bored. I remember history when I was in high school. It was the most boring thing in the universe. I absolutely hated it. I get to college and I get to take some real history classes, and it's like, wow, this is fascinating. So, um, they just told me the power's back on, so that's good. So maybe we will be able to stay on. Um, of course, they may call and get me. I better block phone calls. Hold on, I forgot to do that. Uh,
Don, 1, 2, 3.
so anyway, what? What did you say?
I think a parrot said something. I was just testing the sound if you still can hear me, but that's already a little
Oh yeah,
ago. But when I'm
yeah.
already in the line, we can welcome Eleanor, and Rosebud is with us. And Rosebud has bad news. She broke her right foot, I think. Poor Rosebud. So healing thoughts from the Chloe Sanctuary. Really upset to hear you have a broken foot, and Tiki Tiki as well. So looks like the rocks have declared war to these both. Sorry to hear that. Mango, come
Yeah,
over.
yeah, he's coming over. Yeah, so the next thing I did was try to hold classes, and it was funny. We got every kind of person who wanted to find a way to get a bird for free. That's really what was happening. So you start a class, there was this one guy in the class, and I found out later because I started doing research on people. Something sounded wrong, right? And I was warned about this by the Lily Sanctuary too. So I found out what he was doing is finding birds he could get as cheap as he possibly could, and then he was taking them to the swap meet and having people pay him $10 to take a picture with them with a bird. That was what he was doing. So And then there were a lot of people who were there, like, "Oh, can I've been coming to your classes? Can I get one of your birds?" You know, like, a few people came for actual learning purposes that had birds that wanted to know, but the majority of people we brought in to those classes were people who were just there trying to get a bird for free. So one of the other things I learned is that it is hard to educate people on anything you know, that's a difficult subject. And what's more difficult than behavior, right? So at that point, that's when I started doing videos because I wanted to educate people about how to deal with feather destructive behavior. That was my main focus, and the other diseases and problems that these birds can have. Right, Mango? Isn't that right, Mango? What do you think? Are you sitting next to look at Mander? He's trying to ignore him. So the mistake of starting what at the time I called Beak Speak, getting having people come to a uh, live meeting, taught me that it's better to educate over the internet. So so that really changed my focus, and we've got quite a bit of video out there now. And Cecil's over there playing with his gum, his own homemade gum.
Mhm.
And what was everybody? Oh, Jasmine's starting to wake up. This is probably the last day we'll get outside because it looks like we got heat coming. So they're saying, "Oh, extreme high heat," and I'm looking. What are you saying? 95? That's high? No, not here. It's too high for the birds, but not what we call hot. Hot's 115. Anything over 110 is hot. Anything that causes the people who just moved here to start packing their bags and finding another place to live, that's hot. What? You want to get petted? I could do that. I don't think you want the thing on. Can I pet you? Yeah, okay. Um, I always ask permission before I pet him by wiggling my fingers together, rubbing my fingers together. And if he wants to be petted, he'll let me do it. He'll tell me by lowering his head. See, we've worked things out little by little. When I go to towel him now, we have worked that out. So what happens is he'll just kind of freeze where he is so I can throw the towel over him. If he does that, it's easier for me to get his head out so we can see where he's going. If he tries to run away, then he ends up getting covered where I can't expose his head. And I like him to be able to see where he's going. That's only fair. He's not quite as sensitive about his feet as he used to be. I can actually get close to his feet. I can touch his feet while he's being carried in a towel. So he doesn't seem to mind that. Right, Mango? And I think that the other mistake, the biggest mistake I made is thinking that somehow, yeah, really? Or you can talk to him at a distance, but not when he's sitting right next to you? Okay. No, I'm not going to pet you again. I've been petting you for a while. No, not right now. Not right now. I can't pet you all the time. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's fun to do that, but I can't. It's not good for you to get petted all the time. He is not buying any of this, as you can tell. He's not going to pet me. He's not. No, I'm not going to pet you. No. No. I want to move away just a hair, just so you get the idea. I've had enough. Maybe a little later. Sugar's looking like you're not going to pet him unless you pet me. And for Rosebud, I'll read the movie scene. An old woman carrying a peace sign falls through a hole in the ocean. Into the ocean, I'm sorry. Yeah. You know I have a tongue somewhere in there. My mouth. Another lesson I learned, which has been an important one, which is why we're a sanctuary and not a rescue. If you're going to have a rescue where you're rehoming birds, we need to have a large crew. And the reason is there's a ton of people who the only reason they contact rescues is to try to get a bird for less money. I learned that the hard way. I had one guy who was volunteering, and then he adopted a banded parakeet that we had. And then he kind of disappeared for a while, and he said he wanted to volunteer again. And I said, "Well, we're a sanctuary now. We're not rehoming birds." I never heard from him again. So again, he was trying to get a bird for less for a low price. Um, so what I learned is that you have to be careful because people will lie to get what they want. And it's not, and those kind of people are not good for birds. You can't get in my lap. Where's KK? He's in the bucket. All right.
Ooh, we have a bucket boy.
As long as he's in the bucket, I don't know how long he'll stay there if he realizes she's on my lap, but
As long you can pet a pink bird. Looks like nobody has an idea about the movie so far. So we might need a clue or hint.
well, I'm trying to think of a good hint. One of the president's right hand men was at that event where the lady fell through the hole. There's a bit of a joke in that, so the song from the movie MASH could have been played several times in this movie, and it would have fit. Yeah, she's having a good time getting petted down here. She loves it, but when someone is out, she normally can't do this. So, because he'll chase her away. Right, Jazz? I think he knows, but he doesn't care at this point. Do you know? Do you know? You don't have much in there. I don't think I don't have anything I can put in there until I cut weeds because there's weeds all throughout. The wind blew the weeds in yesterday. Hi, KK. I don't know what I could give you, KK. I can't reach anything from here. I think the biggest mistake I made was bringing in something that, well, I mean, I had to save her because they were going to get rid of her that weekend one way or another. So if I hadn't done it, nobody else was even talking, and they were looking at a strange part. I guess they tried to advertise everywhere, but nobody wanted to take a bird. That's something you have to realize. It's like that Twilight Zone movie where you get the Twilight Zone episode where you pay $1 to get the love potion, but it costs you $10,000 to get the shoe polish. They never quite tell you what the shoe polish is, but you get the idea that once you get it to them, that's the end, right? It you don't know exactly why it's the end, but you know it's the end. Um, because it's really hard to get rid of them once you get them. And if you know what you're doing, you don't have to. But if you don't, and you make these essential mistakes, then you end up in a big mess. So
Oh man, that looks good in the wind. Oh my gosh. Like a lion.
he
So
does.
handsome, Mander.
The wind's kicking up again. That's not good. Um,
So yeah, we just realized that the chat has more than two health problems. So we just discussing that in the chat. Sunny is also sick. She was sent home from nursery, but she is still up to mischief. So sounds good.
yeah, kids are kind of like parrots. They take a lot of attention. There's something else too. One of the mistakes I made. This isn't one I planned to talk about, but is you. Oh, what's going on here? Somebody messed with this. Yep. No, well, I'll fix it later. Um, when you start out, you don't realize that all of a sudden you have to give medicine. And I mean, whoops, someone's out. Someone's out. You better get up here, sweetheart, before he starts to kill you. He got out of the bucket. I'm sorry. He got out of the bucket.
Ooh.
Anything in this bucket I can give you? I don't think there's anything in any of these buckets. No. I know. I know. Well, I got to pet her until you threw out your bucket. Okay, Kelly. I know. I know. It's a good boy.
Don, little question. If a bird only eats really unhealthy stuff like seeds, and you remove that completely from its eating list and just give him the healthy stuff, will the bird starve itself to death? Cockatoo?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. What you want to do is give them what they're used to, and then over a period of about 20 days, slowly reduce it. So you knock off 5% of their normal food and then knock off another 5%, slowly reduce it. But no, don't starve them. I made that mistake with sugar. She was nearly going to kill herself over eating,
That's
frosted flakes.
Jasmine.
I wasn't.
Where's that sugar?
I'm aware of that. I was just talking about sugar. So
Okay.
sugar is right there. It just happened to have the camera pointed at her because she wants to sit on my lap. But yeah, I made that mistake with sugar, and it only took me about a day to realize it wasn't going to work because she just wouldn't eat. And then I tried giving her like the health food version of Cheerios. She wouldn't eat it. And but now she eats. I mean, she eats good food, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah, you do. No, that whatever you do, don't do that. The cockatoos are unfortunately the breeders don't give them the right food, and then people get them, and if the bird will, if the bird will eat something that's horrendous for them, but they'll eat it, they give it to them. So I made the mistake of giving things like banana chips. I don't do that anymore because you don't want to give anything that's just too sweet. Even the unsweetened banana chips, occasionally, once a week or something is fine, but you don't want to do that on a daily basis. And I used to give them like a half a banana chip or something every day. No, not anymore. And then some of them, if you put a half in once a week, they'll start, they'll be looking for that and they won't eat. So, most important to get food in them, and then over time you adjust it so that they will eat what's best for them. If they won't eat fruits and vegetables, you can make muffins and put fruits and vegetables in them. I know cooking is like totally out. People don't want to do that, but you really should. And that doesn't mean buying it off some company on the internet and then making it home and adding water. It means like take real vegetables and learn to cook. That's another thing. If I had to, fortunately, I didn't have to learn to cook, but that's really something you need to do. Fresh vegetables would be fine, although I don't know many cockatoos who will eat them. Some will. Um, the problem there is if you're in the US, especially the amount of poisons that we spray on food. You go organic, but they could still end up with maybe this organic place is close to a cattle ranch, and the runoff from the cattle ranch gets in there, and then you get botulism and salmonella and listeria. Just washing it in vinegar isn't going to solve the problem either. So, I mean, it'll take off some, but so learning to cook. I mean, there's a lot of things that really come with it. That I mean, I had to learn how to. I'm still experimenting, changing their mash around and making their birdie biscuit better, and just it's an ongoing project. It's something that never stops. I never thought it was going to be a bunch of ongoing projects. Oh, I have to figure out how to give medicine so they stop, picking on themselves, and then they have to give medicine because now they have AGN. So now you've got to give them, you got to do injections, and none of that entered my mind. So I stepped into it blind. One day you wake up and you look in the mirror and you see Nurse Ratched looking back at you. And one flew over the cuckoo's nest. They're pretty good about taking their medicine, but with caveats. With Lorelai, I have to show her a towel. I have to wrap her in a towel. But I can pick her up any other time. If I didn't use the towel, there wouldn't be a signal there letting her know she was going to get an injection. Then she would be afraid of me all the time. So I made sure that I brought the towel out because I know how she is. She's a flighty little girl. So any other time I put my hand in there, she steps right up. But if I've got the towel, she knows she's going to have to go back and get an injection. So she hunkers down and deals with it.
Oh, I just had a memory of you. What was it? Something Cecil was afraid for in the medicine room, where you tried to have him on the perch, and then he actually flew off and ran out the door and somehow made it close behind him. Yeah, I'm sometimes allowed to watch when Don does examination on birds. I think it was the stethoscope.
Yeah, it was the stethoscope. He's it scares them all. It's not so bad now. They're mostly trained into it, but he still tends to want to run from it.
Yeah. Cecil is just, you wouldn't expect him to fly off that quickly and know exactly where the emergency exit is.
And he doesn't realize. I honestly don't think he knows he can fly. He just does it as instinct. Otherwise, he would, fly around more often. But he only flies when he's scared. So he'll go through gymnastics to get down from a perch so that he can just fly over and like Lucy does. Just fly over in just a second. But now he has to climb down, hang, and then swing himself, and then grab the middle. It's just fun to watch him, but he doesn't realize he can fly. Hi, sugar. So what do I
So
owe
we
this?
still have no clue for the movie, I think. Or have I missed something in chat? But I don't think so.
I can come up with another clue. Let me see. You could say a sunflower fell into the ocean. I
A
must
what?
have picked a sunflower.
Sunflower. Oh, that is the sign of peace.
There's also in the movie. There's a picture of this particular woman, and on the backside is a picture of a sunflower. What are you doing?
Maybe that's the new thing in the vlog, showing the males the wing.
This she's kind of balancing there. She won't doesn't want to sit on me, but she wants to, get close enough so I'll pet her. That's sugar for you. I don't want to sit on him, but I want to get as close as I can. So, sugar, I don't know about you, goodness. And then Jazz is trying to get involved in the scene too.
Yeah, of course. Free pets.
Sugar, that's a weird position for my arm. Let me
Let's
see if
see,
I can move it this way.
is the movie or is that scene more in the beginning or at the end of the movie?
More in the middle.
Okay. Black and white or color?
Nope. Color.
Color.
Good. I've got one that's not usually everybody gets these things early on in the movie.
Spirit
Um,
matter needs the director to know.
There's a sunflower and a bud in the movie.
I'm done.
Mhm.
For making birdie bread, can you use the Jiffy corn mix?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's in Jiffy corn mix, but I mean,
Yeah, be
corn.
careful with these ready to use baking stuff
Mm,
since there might be things in it that are not good for the bird.
yeah, baking with something like cornmeal is not difficult. I mean, I can make microwave cornbread and have it mixed up and ready to go in 5 minutes. I don't need to open a box to do it. So if you have access to an AI or a cookbook, I don't even look at my cookbooks anymore. I just, I say I want something that's good for the birds. That's like a cornbread that is good for them, and it will tell me exactly what ingredients to put together and how long to cook it and everything. So I remember I wanted cornbread for myself one day, and I said, "Can I do that in the microwave?" And like 10 minutes later, I'm eating cornbread. So it the stuff in the box is just not that good for you. So you want to make it yourself. A good example is, people buy this Bisquick, to make biscuits. You know what's in it? Flour, baking powder, and either lard or some other kind of fat. That's it. You can put that together for half the price, or actually a quarter of the price yourself. Just buy some measuring cups and a few bowls. you know. Ah, 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 ah. And if you want the easy way to do that kind of cooking, learn to do it in metric. And the reason I say that is because you can just put a scale up, and if it calls for 240 grams of something, you put the 240 grams in the bowl. You hit the tare button so it goes to zero. Then they add the next item. If it wants 50 grams of something, you put that in. Hit the tare button so it goes to zero again, and add the next item. Boom, 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 boom. You're done. Mix it up. Make sure you're heating your oven before you start all this. I'm cooking all the time for them, making birdie biscuits and making their mash and
Mm.
usually places like high schools and stuff, they'll have adult classes in cooking. So you'll find out you can get a lot better food for yourself if you cook it yourself. You'll find out how much you're being taken by the government and these big corporations as well. A good example is something like a potato chip. The average potato chip in the United States, called um, crisps in Europe, but is about $10 a pound. But you can buy 10 pounds of potatoes for $3.50. Who's getting, so basically all they do is take potatoes, a machine slices them up, they put them in hot oil and hit them with a bunch of salt. Is that really worth $10 a pound? I mean, you can make those yourself, although you'd be better off, if you're going to do that, just make French fries. Those are easy. But
You said French fries, and now sugar is
yeah,
directly behind you.
yeah, I said French fries. He
Spirit
likes those.
Matter asks, what happened to Don's hand? Was captured by the sugar bird. No, I think because you have that black thing there.
Yeah, that's carpal tunnel on my left hand, and it gets irritated when I'm working out. So I still have it on after my workout because my hand is a little stiff. So I mean, I'm 72 years old and doing the workout routine of somebody who's supposed to be a beginning bodybuilder. So it's gonna aches and pains here and there, right, sugar?
Is
Aches and pains
simple
here and
corn
there.
flour okay for the birdie bread?
Well, only as a treat occasionally, because corn flour itself is just a lot of carbs. I mean, it's starch, but it's it's not something you want to feed them on a regular basis. But it's okay for treats. If you mix if you're making cornbread, you can throw in like a half a cup of ground up, depending on how much you know. Hey, hey, hey! Cut it out over there. Hey, hey! You two, stop it! Cut it out! Get out of there! You behave. Leave her alone. Do you hear me? Are we talking? You leave her alone.
Nobody has got the movie so far, Rosebud. We are still hanging to this a clue that the woman is carrying a sunflower. She's not carrying a
Yes.
mango.
There's a scene in the movie where the lead character hangs himself. There's another scene in the movie where he shoots himself, and his mother is on the phone and looks over and says a couple of words like,
Mm.
oh,
Tiki
I'm
Tiki
not.
wants to know if it's a horror movie.
No, it's a black comedy.
Okay, so also no sci-fi.
Nope. The lead character sets himself on fire in one scene while a prospective girlfriend is talking to his mother. With another prospective girlfriend, he chops off his left hand. I have trouble with left and right because of my SDAM, but yeah, it says left hand. He chops off.
I think
Of course,
everybody would remember that movie if they've
well,
seen it.
if you haven't seen this movie, it's the movie I go to whenever I'm sad or something terrible happens, and I watch it. So I'm just kind of standing here with you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to keep you from being silly. She doesn't. Doesn't want you to bother her, and you want to bother her, and she's saying no. So
Rosebud
but
cannot believe that it cheers you up.
it does. The music in the movie was done by Yusuf Islam.
But it is not Monty Python movie something.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one that'll throw you. The one who did the music for the movie was Yusuf Islam.
Is it a new movie?
No.
Okay, as I say, I have absolutely no idea. Certainly, never seen it, and the chat is the same. Oh, yeah, Rosebud, that was Mango. He went a bit after Jasmine. Actually, he just wants to be friend, and Jasmine says, stay off.
She
Sometimes
doesn't.
they have done a little.
Yeah. She doesn't just say no. She says hell no. So she is a single
Harold
lady.
and Maud.
That's it. Harold
Falcon
and
Civil
Maude.
War. Oh my
Good.
gosh.
That's amazing. Yeah. Whoops. Spider. Someone was eating my phone holder. You sneak.
Okay,
Just
congratulations, Falcon Zoo again, because
yeah.
that was obviously a tough one. Then Rosebud thinks Mango needs a friend, and the thing is, probably more lucky friend. He has already umbrella friends, so he's really close to Lucy, sometimes even a little too close.
Yeah. Someone's taking a bath. Cecil's taking a bath.
And Mango is interested.
Mango, don't mess with him while he's taking a bath. Mango. Mango.
Maybe that's his
Man.
red line.
Mander, get out of my face. Thank you. Yeah, it's not that funny.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
Cecil. That's too
that's a
cute.
gr- that, that's a great movie. It was a lot of strong, positive notes to it, even though it's a dark comedy. Yeah, the lead character meets Ruth Gordon. He's a young guy. She's an old lady, and she's old. And they meet for the first time in a cemetery. So I mean, it's just there's a scene in there where I mean, she's just a total free spirit. Something that it's a good movie. And like I said, the music is by Yusuf Islam, but you probably know his name as Cat Stevens. He actually didn't like that name, but that was back in the days where the record companies could tell you what you're going to be. So they told him you're going to have to go by that. He was forced into it by the record companies. One of the reasons I don't like record companies, um, and I would tell them where they could stuff it, but you know, if you're trying to get out there and be public, they had control of you. The movie studios were like that in the early days. Actually, they produced a lot of good movies that way, but before the actors got to bid for the
Shuggy, you're
jobs.
sitting a bit in the way of Cecil doing his bath.
Mango doesn't know what to make of it. It's like
Mm.
Cecil's Cecil is taking a bath.
I think he wants somehow to join, or he's curious, at least.
I'm not sure. He hasn't learned to use a bottle to drink out of yet. So he may look at that as, where's my water going? Because there's a bottle up there to drink out of, but he hasn't figured it out yet. Everybody else, except for Jasmine, who refuses to drink out of her bottle, drinks out of it. Jasmine knows how, but she won't do it. I have to put a regular bowl in there for her. And Sugar wouldn't drink out of the bottle until I made a holder where it hangs off the top of the cage and sticks down. Now she drinks out of it. She won't drink out of a bowl anymore. She wants to drink out of it, but it has to be just where she wants it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like Sugar or what? It does, doesn't it?
Mango, super exciting to watch Cecil. Split, split, splash, splash.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Harold and Maude, you should. And you'll love the music anyway. So
Yeah, Shuggy is indeed a little diva.
and if you watch it and you don't like it, I'm sure there are plenty of psychiatrists out there that would be glad to take your money and help you. Really is a good movie. I don't know what to tell you.
Shuggy yawning. Goose goose for herself.
You going back to your friend because everybody else is telling you to take a hike there, kid? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Cecil's still, every last drop is coming out of that bowl. We don't have much humidity today, 16%, so it won't be wet in here long.
Be careful, Mango is on his way to Jasmine again, and she is not happy about it.
Mango? I don't usually have that kind of a reaction on birds. Mango. 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 No. All right. Here we go. She doesn't really want you over there. You know that? She doesn't want you bothering her. You're cute. Yes, you are cute. But she doesn't want that cuteness.
Mm.
She
She
doesn't.
doesn't know how to deal with it. So simple.
You don't want to get petted. You don't want to get petted. Can I pet you? Can I pet you? Yes.
Oh, such a good boy. Receiving pets by now.
He actually wasn't in the mood for it, but
Accepting it. That's good.
he's accepting it. Yeah. He's a little hyped up. He starts clacking his beak when he's a little
Mhm.
hyped. He's extremely social. He just wants everybody to like him, and it doesn't work that way.
Mm.
Now you know how it is to be a mander. He gets rejected too. The only girl around here who's going to give you any attention, and she doesn't know how to preen, is Lucy. So
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. And yeah, stay healthy, everybody, and good healing.
and thank you, Amy, for moderating, and Eleanor for being here and moderating in the chat. And get well, you and Rosebud, and a little one, Sunny. And we'll get out of here with Cecil doing his, he was doing his skywalking. Bye, folks.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.